What's going on, guys? We are back. We got a little bit of a Clemson preview going here. We're going to start off with a little bit of a review of the offense from last week's game against Wake. Um, so we will get right into it. Uh, start here. This is about 2 or 3 drives into the game when things really started to pick up for the offense. So here, you're going to fake the jet to Lucas. Tommy deep drop back. Pocket collapses a little bit. He gets out, makes it work with his legs. Let's check the routes. This is what you want the offense to look like. I know I didn't do a full pure review of this game, but figured I'd show a little bit of it. And man, you just see Deuce up here at the top of your screen, just eating up grass with those long strides. Look how much cushion this defender is playing with. That's 7 yards of cushion, and Deuce just completely blows past him. He's got a step on him for sure, and safety's there. But such an incredible game, such a really, really, really good player. I think you could probably argue that either he or Malachi Tony are the best receiver in the ACC. Now let's take a moment, and I posted about this just because I thought this was maybe the game we saw it more so than any other. I think Randy Pittman has an argument to be the most versatile tight end in the entire country. Here, they're going to bring him from an H-back spot. That's enough. We'll get into the play like parts of the play that he can execute so well, but even where they align him, he's so versatile. Motion Lucas into the backfield. So here we go. We're going to pull him across. You see Pettis kind of tries to jump set this guy on the end. So what's going to happen? Pittman has to take him on. Snatch trap. See ya. Pancake. Are you kidding me, dude? You don't just do that as a tight end. You don't do that. I don't. The pass protection technique is genuinely excellent. It is excellent. Excellent. I don't know if you can really see it here. He kind of gets a little swipe on that inside hand of the edge rusher, and that's really what puts it over the top. So just a really, really good play and a really good player. We're going to be talking about him a few times and hopefully even more times this week against Clemson. I remember Landon Thomas kind of had his coming out game last year against Clemson. Didn't ever really see that same production, but what was it, like 7 catches, 80 yards, something like that. So we'll see this Clemson team, and we're going to watch the defensive side of the ball for Clemson. This is a Clemson team that has really struggled defensively. A lot of their guys have underwhelmed that came into the year with some high expectations. Now I feel like I just need to point him out on every play. You've got Randy on the backside of this run, ends up solo with this defensive end, maybe a little bit of a holding, kind of lets the guy get out of his frame. But yeah, I tweeted about this. I was very shocked to see Sam Singleton out there on the first play. This is a guy who had 1 carry in ACC play up to this point. Basically, all of his yards and touches came in the 2 lower level blowouts. So it was definitely a surprise. Something must have happened in the bye week, and just a complete shakeup of the depth chart. But he brings that change of pace. I think we all know that he's talented. I think basically this is just such an incredibly deep running back room, and you see a little bit of what Sam's good at in this game, but you gotta have it blocked up well for him. And so Tommy pulls here. Maybe could have given that off, but Medley ultimately kind of blows this up. He gets driven multiple yards into the backfield. Tommy has to scramble out, can't make it happen. Plays dead. Let's see, I think this one goes to Sam. No, wait. This is the long shot, long ball, busted coverage. So you're gonna see here at the bottom of your screen, you have Deuce, and once we get to the other angle, I'll show the Chroma Pass Pro because it's really impressive. Bottom of your screen, you have Deuce. Once again, pretty big cushion between him and the receiver. Really big cushion, actually. And you see just kind of a miscommunication, I think, here. I think ultimately this guy that's covering the flat isn't supposed to be sitting in the flat. He needs to take Deuce vertical. and that leaves this guy who's originally on him kind of in no man's land as he has to guard both of these two routes. And Deuce just puts a little bit of a move on him, is able to get past him, chunk play. That's why this is the most explosive offense statistically in the FBS. All right, now the fun stuff. I'm not gonna stop talking about Chroma. I know that it's been underwhelming, and some of the production has been underwhelming, and he's been amazing when he's been out there, in my opinion. So I'm biased, but man, I don't know, dude. Like the little things, just he seems to do them well. Does a really good job with his eyes here, scanning. You see, this is like a bit of a delayed stunt blitz. They loop this guy across Medley, and this linebacker dips around. You can see he kind of adjusts. Chrome has to adjust his track. He's leaning inside between Medley and Pettibone. He sees this guy move, foot in the dirt, pivot back, meet him right in the chest, pop him, mirror him. That's a really textbook pass pro rep, and that's one of the quietly underrated improvements that has helped this offense so much this year. And it hasn't come from a guy that you would expect, like Biscuit. He's given you some stuff as a blocker, but really it's been Randy Pittman, it's been Chroma, it's been Sawchuck, and so yeah, that was an issue last year. You were getting way too much pressure allowed from your tight ends and backs, and that's just completely unsustainable. You put them in positions to succeed. They have the want to, the desire on every play. It'll work out well. Let's just go to the other angle. One of 6 Chroma touches, I think, in this game. You could see a little bit of that lateral explosiveness just to cross so much yardage laterally with one step. And it gets to the point where these guys just really can't track him down. He has to get out here, out in space. Block gets kind of blown up, doesn't have the juice to maybe turn that corner. Not that it's really there, but he does. I mean, I'm a huge Chroma fan, but that is the knock on him, is the juice that he kind of lacks. I think it gets a little overstated at times, but he's certainly not Sam Singleton, who can just fly through a hole for an easy 20 yards. Man. I like Sawchuck as a goal line back, but I would kind of like to see some Chroma more like in this low red zone, like the actual, get 5 yards, whatever. But I can't complain. Sawchuck's been fine. That was not a play that was on him. He gets more than is there a lot of times. He falls forward on these plays, so strong double team on the backside by Medley, or yeah, I guess the backside Medley and Pettis, but the interior kind of just gets blown up. You see Pettibone tries to cut number 9, kind of gets pancaked himself. I thought I don't want to criticize him because he's been one of your better players on the team this year, but he had a not up to his standard game, and I think that's kind of understandable. I think this Wake defensive tackle duo is the best you're probably going to face all season. Probably 2 draftable players. I posted about one of them on Twitter a few weeks ago. So let's see here. We're going to boot what we got, get out in space, tuck it. That's what Tommy's so good at, man. He's so good at it. Man, he's really, at some point we got to talk about, like, he really has had a strong season, like, especially for what he was brought in to do. Really nice year. All right, watch Deuce here at the bottom of your screen. See Chroma runs the wheel. Deuce kind of gets this, like, I guess it's like a slot fade, but I want to watch the ball tracking from the other angle because I thought this was nearly a phenomenal catch, but an even better play by the defensive back to track him down and knock this ball loose. But just watch how Deuce has to adjust his body to bring this ball in and how naturally he does so. Boom, he's running full speed, facing the inside of the field, right there. Foot in the ground, has to turn, jump. I mean, Yeah, he's so good, man. And then ball ultimately gets popped out. Big hit, really good play by that defender. Um, but I hate to rag on Johnny every time I talk about Deuce, but they're just it's just so different, man. It's just so different. Um, the level that these guys can go up and get the ball, the level they can separate, the consistency that Deuce brings on some of these more focus drops that Johnny had. So let's see here. Oh yeah, this is the throwback screen to Randy. I kind of like this. Not uh, you'd like to get better blocking on the perimeter, not by that duo. I don't really understand the numbers on this play. I don't know if one of these two is supposed to peel off and go get one of these perimeter players, or if you're just hoping Randy can win that one-on-one in space. He's not a big miss tackle, juke you out of your shoes, or really even like stiff arm type of guy, anything like that. So I don't know if that's a recipe for success, but it's it's an interesting experiment. All right. Hit Chroma on the wheel, kinda. Not wheel, really. It's just like a flat route. Let's go to the other angle. This is a good run, or a good catch and run, like 19 yards or so. Chunk play, another. And you can see they get these chunk plays in all sorts of different ways, man. Gus in his bag a little bit. Let's watch Gunnar Hansen on the backside of this concept. Patient, excuse me, patient, attacks, redirects laterally when the guy crosses his face, finishes the block. Really good stuff. All right, now we'll watch Chroma. First, the hands, strong to hold that in below his frame. Turns upfield, gets going, foot in the ground, break a tackle, doesn't even go down. But big gain. That's one of the last times we'll see him all game. Obviously, it did not matter, though. We have another Randy Pittman masterclass on this one. Really nice catch and run by Lewayne, but we're going to be talking about Big Randy over here on the right side, lined up next to real big Micah Pettis. And let's watch Big Randy. Let's watch him. Let's see what he's got. So off the snap, we're going to wall off a little bit, set a firm edge. Guy gets into his frame, so what's he do? His classic, I'm going to swipe your hands. Get that out of here. You're going on the ground. See ya. Pancake. I love it, man. I love the way he plays football, dude. He has really, really become one of my favorite players on this team. He's so complete. I'd like to see him throw another jump pass this year as well. That was fun. All right. And this is just Jalen Lucas being Jalen Lucas. That's why it doesn't matter, at least at this level, that he's only 5'7", 175 pounds or whatever he is, because he can burn angles like this. Let's watch number 10. He's got him. Now he doesn't. One step and he doesn't got him. Oh, maybe. Does he? Nope. Nope, not quite. And then look at Deuce. Look at Deuce just blocking, just driving up here. Really nice stuff. This is it's refreshing to see this type of blocking come back. I think that was a penalty. But yeah, I think it was. I forgot. Yeah. It is refreshing to see that type of blocking come back after we kind of missed it last year. But the wide receiver room was so dominant blocking in the 23 season. All right, this is kind of another busted play. Medley takes a bad angle on his pull, lets a defender cross his face. The defender runs into Pettis and he goes flying. He goes airborne, I guess. Lands some of these plays. Some of our offensive linemen, I truly think they're gonna not get back up the way they fall so awkwardly and they're so big, but it's never really the case. So yeah, they get Tommy. I think that was a flag. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, not anything. I've had this play marked because it's kind of confusing me. Like, is this supposed to be a throwback screen, and for who? Because you have Richie out. Oh, it's for Sawchuk, and he's like not open, not like doing anything to get open either. Like, you got to have a little bit more urgency, or you got to put a little bit more into that block if you want this to be a successful play. Both him and Medley, honestly, you need to get more out of because Tommy's instantly under pressure. There's nobody for him to throw it to. Richie's like 20 yards downfield. You had a really not a perfectly clean offensive game. I think it was 11 tackles for loss allowed, and you had a lot of tackles for loss defensively as well. But it was kind of a boom or bust offense. I don't think the success rate was a super high mark, if I remember correctly. So we'll see. It's something to monitor, as always. But man, this is closer to what you expect to see from a tight end in pass pro, I would say. And it's still probably an above average rep. You see 7 here on the left side of your screen, kind of just pauses and then boom, bull rush, speed to power, Jared Verse. Let's go. He sees that Tommy's running a real play and boom, right into Randy's chest. Now watch Randy get driven back, but he hops, resets his anchor, just just okay. Like I'm fine with that rep. I'm fine with that rep. You know, he allows the sack, but I'm fine with that rep. Ultimately, Tommy needs to have answers for that because one, there's things throughout the play that you can go to. You can throw that ball away, and you're so elusive. It also doesn't help that Gunner's a little late to pick up. Well, very late to pick up on this stunt over on the left side. So there's pressure from both sides of the ball, and you see the bend. This is one of those defensive tackles I was talking about. Really impressive players. So it's not crazy that some of your interior had a little bit of a rough day. Let's see. I think we only have like 4 more plays I have cut up, but yeah, let's go, Sam. So you see the strengths and also maybe a little bit of the God, I got like a hair in my eye. Some of the limitations with Sam on this play, I think. So excellent blocking. Richie's climbing. I mean, Pettibone just completely washes this guy out. Number 5 defensively takes himself out of the play. Don't really know what he's doing. But really, are there any other running backs besides? I don't even like to consider Jalen Lucas because, are there any other running backs on this team who I don't know. I mean, one are taking this track. I mean, a lot of them will take that track, but are getting past 24 and 5. I mean, they're not in great position, but I mean, 5, he gets pretty close, and this wouldn't even be a tackle and 2-hand touch. And a lot of that is on the blocking, but when you have this level of blocking, it's having guys like Sam who can hit that hole with urgency, see it go. Now, some of the limitations, I will say, not a very strong lateral mover and not very quick to decelerate. You see him kind of have to adjust his path here over a really long period as he cuts back across. And then some of the vision stuff kind of goes out the window at the second level. Like, dude, you are maybe the fastest player on the field. Take this lane. I don't care what's on the perimeter over there. Take that lane. What makes you decide that you, a guy who's pretty limited laterally, are going to be able to cut this back inside? So he he can't. So he just kind of runs into the safety. But I that ended off harsh, but that is a really good run, and that is probably what the coaches saw in practice, and that's why he started, and that's why he got all the carries because the O-line was opening up holes in the run game, especially that left side, I feel like, and especially when 94 and 99 wouldn't be out on the field at defensive tackle. So Sam is a guy who could take advantage of that, and I I anticipate we'll continue to see him. He's easy to root for too. Just a guy who's really done everything when he's been heard his name called. Kick return touchdown last year, freshman All American by one outlet. He'll always have that. Um, so explosive in these blowout wins, even back to his freshman year. So he's he's met the call every single time. So it's good to see him get some run in a big game. Not, well, big game. Man, standards have fallen so hard. But all right, Sawchuk back, designed run. I kind of think Tommy loses this rep by himself a little bit by slowing down there. I think there's a perfectly fine hole, and he's quick enough to get through there. I don't know. Maybe you cut this way a little. I guess he thinks that he's going to get tackled by 52 or 11, but you can't always bounce it. You can't. I know you're the athlete, but you can't always bounce it. Got to mix it up a little bit, just a little bit. This was nice. And who is it? It's Randy Pittman. Lined up in the slot now at the top of your screen. He's just going to run that slot fade. Tommy's kind of very late to see him. I think if he sees him earlier, this is probably a walk-in touchdown, if not to the 5-yard line at least, if he can't pull away. But he's wide open. Tommy's rolls and then sees him. So if that ball's out, I mean, you can kind of see him at the bottom of your screen. If that ball is out now, I don't know. It's probably a touchdown. But really good play. Good play. Another chunk play. Story of this game. Highs and lows on offense. And that's kind of the case for the Clemson defense, which we'll watch in just a second. But when they're on, they're on. They've had a few games that they've lost that have been low scoring. They've had a few, and we're going to watch one that was high scoring this past weekend against Duke. You kind of see what's good about Sawchuk here. Not a perfectly blocked up play. I can guarantee you Sam Singleton is not getting as many yards as Sawchuk is on this play. Just puts his head down and drags a few players, falls forward, 4 yards, 5 yards, I don't know, 5 yards. Perfect. Successful play. All right. Another hand, or no, yeah. Another handoff. Not really anything here. Opening up. Randy meets his man in the hole. Ultimately, if Medley isn't getting driven backwards, that's more than enough of a block from Randy, and that's probably a gap that Sawchuk can hit, but there's not really enough room. He bounces off the back of Medley. That gives the defense time to fill the gap. But as you see there, what happened once again? 4-yard gain. Another successful play. He's gotten some criticism because he's not as exciting as some of these younger backs, but Sawchuk still has a very important role on this team, in my opinion. All right, Sam, what do we got? I was really impressed. This is kind of when he had a few plays in this game that made me question my thoughts on Sam Singleton, like some of his limitations, because you see sort of, I don't really know if it's agility, but just like he's got some quicks in the backfield. He kind of hops through really a gap that is not there on this one. Has to dodge Pettis. I mean, where's he going to go here, Where's he going to go? There's not a gap here. He's going to make a gap. Look at that. Let me just jump through. Luckily, Pettibone wins late, is able to open it up just a little bit, as does Medley. He's just going to jump through, and that's it. All right. So before we get into Clemson, just like overall thoughts on the offense in this game. I guess maybe some on the defense, but it was your best game by far, obviously. And I think I guess you could argue the Alabama game was better. but just the highs and lows. You're gonna have to win that variance battle weekly if you want to continue to win these games throughout the end of the year. Uh, Really good. I mean, I'm encouraged by Sam Singleton. I don't see why you wouldn't continue to start him until proven otherwise. But yeah, Deuce Robinson, total monster, best player on the team, one of the best receivers in the country, probably top 10, if not higher, top 8. I don't know. Uh, Easily a top 100 pick right now. So you got one in the portal there, and that's why stars matter. Don't shoot the messenger. Defensively, James Williams, sack man gets his sack. Sorry, I missed on that one in the offseason, guys. If you follow me on Twitter, you know it was definitely one of my worst takes, but yeah, finally gets a sack. It's good to see him finally get going. He's got more eligibility. If this staff is back next year, it's I imagine he would still probably stick around, even though this year hasn't gone how he might have hoped. So we'll see. We'll see. But that was encouraging. Thought some of the linebacker play was a little better. I thought Blake looked really impressive. One of definitely his best game of the season. Um, Earl has really gotten back to form, I think. I think the interceptions have helped his mentality. Jabril looks awesome. I kind of wonder if a team is going to drop a bag for him in this offseason. We will see. He also could declare, but I doubt it. Daryl Jackson's still good. Desir twins looked good. Not a whole lot defensively that concerned me in that game. It was good to see him recover a fumble for the first time all year, which is a truly bizarre statistic. Like, how is that? How's that possible? Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think that's all I got for the FSU Wake game. So we'll just watch a few plays here just to get a little bit of a feel for the Clemson defense. For those who don't know, they came into the year with 3 projected first rounders. Peter Woods, defensive tackle, who's gone under the radar this year, and definitely hasn't had the season many were hoping for, but he's still a good player. D-end TJ Parker, I believe that's him on the left side. Or that might be the transfer. I don't know, but he's probably out. No, that's him. That's him on the right. D and TJ Parker and corner Avion Terrell, brother of AJ Terrell. At this point, TJ Parker will be back at school next year. He's been really rough. Avion Terrell has been awesome, and then yeah, like that trio has not lived up to the preseason expectations really at all. But uh, Avion Terrell will be a huge matchup for Deuce in his draft stock. So I had someone in my messages shoot me a message about I think we're probably going to see some Danzy versus Ashton Hampton matchups, which should be cool. They were teammates at Florida High. What's it called? Why am I haven't drawn a blank? But teammates in Tallahassee, really close friends. So wide receiver 2, corner 2, you'll probably see quite a bit of one-on-ones. Tackling is really rough for Clemson. Really rough. That stood out on everything I've seen. They miss a lot of the first tackles, and then maybe the second and maybe the third. Let's see. We get a little bit of a feel for Mensa as well. This is a true freshman back for Duke, by the way. Really, really good player. He's been super productive. Nate Shepard, know the name. Good run stop there. It's the same Clemson defense, you know. No, well, talent wise, definitely not, but stylistically, they haven't, they didn't switch anything up. It's what you expect with Clemson, but I do think uh, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. These teams are in such a bad spot right now. I, we'll see, but it could be really ugly unless FSU got their confidence back, got their swagger back. Don't really push the pocket too much there, but Hampton locks him up. Has to throw the ball away. We're going for it. I like it, Manny. Good gutsy call in Death Valley. Let's go on the road. Let's go for it early. What do we got? Oh, fourth down conversion on the first drive. FSU fans have seen that a lot this year. Not the most fun. Linebacker play has really kind of underwhelmed for uh, Clemson this year. They came in with Woodaz and Sammy Brown and had a lot of hype, and they just aren't there yet. That's Terrell, but that's fine coverage. You need to get a little bit of pressure at least. And it's fourth down. Like, what are we doing? Let's see. Handoff. Really good stack in the middle here. Defensive tackles played that really well. Peter Woods making an impact. We'll see. It's. I said Wake is the best defensive tackles you'll see, but Clemson's pretty good too. So it'll be another test for the interior. You see there, that right guard kind of just gets walked back. Ball is on the ground. Everything's going wrong. Throw the ball away. Instant pressure. Nowhere really to go with the ball in time, at least. Doesn't have time to. Good Lord, who is this? Is that the transfer? 13? Those are the skinniest legs I've ever seen on a defensive lineman. That is unbelievable. What on earth? He looks like Deuce Robinson. He gets pressure, though. Shout out to him. Good. Actually, let's break down that look a little bit. I think it's a nickel blitz, and we're going to loop him inside, draw that tackle's attention. Perfect. Blitz. Dude gets up there. Force him to throw it away again. 4th and 8. What do we got? Uh-oh. Another one. I love this, man. I love it. And an undisciplined team shows up once again. Peter Woods is sick of it. Poor guy. 4th and 3. Really nice pass, bro. That's beautiful. Good Lord. All right. And then he wasn't really even open, was he? Bottom or side of your screen. Wow, he was getting smothered and still catches that ball. Guy's hanging on for dear life. Look at that pass, bro, there. Ooh, that's a nice ball. On time, away from the defender. That's good. Nice route. Yeah, some of the secondary has been an issue at times this year, according to Clemson fans. I think they're generally fine. I think it's the front seven that's a much bigger issue. Please, hopefully that wasn't a corner. Nice. Yeah, great timing. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic. You move it. Yeah, great timing. As I say, the secondary isn't much of a problem. Touchdown. Actually, let's watch the route. Does it seem like just like a slot fade? Which I feel like I've said a million times today. Oh, they're switching. He just gets him with the release, dude. Caught his feet in quicksand. Man, that's nasty. Way more separation than you should ever give up on a slot fade. That's ugly. 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 We got a barn burner going, 7-7 already. Many more points will be scored in this one. Hand it off up the middle to Shepard. Not really anything there. Duke's left tackle is a NFL guy, probably a center at the NFL level, but he's an NFL guy. Good block there. I don't know why I'm even talking about Duke. We don't even play Duke, so yeah. It's an inconsistent defense, man. I'm telling you, it's very similar to the FSU offense on a play-by-play basis. Like, dude, we just watched them really dominate for the most part in the run game, and then just a complete miscommunication. I don't know if they just all bit super hard on the play action, or if one of these two isn't supposed to be biting, or like what on earth is happening here. Dabo's probably losing his mind on the sideline because this dude is, I mean, no chance you're catching him, you know? He does get kind of close, but no chance. Yeah, that's bizarre. Let's see. Do they do anything weird? No. They just completely bite. What on earth? I don't know. Undisciplined football team, I'm telling you. Very abnormal by Dabo's standards for sure. We'll get a few more plays going here and then close this thing out. I don't want to keep yapping for too long. I clearly don't even have a great feel for this team. Not that anybody does, but I'm out here making declarations about the coverage, and then they give up two big touchdowns. So, good way to swarm to the ball there. Linebackers come over. Man, what is 17? What is he doing out here? Is it 13 or 17? That's the edge rusher. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the Clemson roster after this because that guy is bizarre. And as I said earlier, they're bottling up the run game, and boom, never mind. Really played this pretty well at the front level, and then you get to the second level, and you have to ask yourself, is anybody filling gaps over here, or are three of you filling this one singular gap all at once? Because it kind of looks like all three of you are filling the same gap, and I'm also seeing nobody here. So, if you have literally any lateral agility and eyes, what are you doing? I'm going to bounce that. And he has good lateral agility, so he really makes it work. Chunk yardage. And nobody at the second level to tackle him, so I think he came down with this. Mensa's really, really good, man. Got what they paid for sure. For sure. Yeah, wow. Woo. That's a really impressive catch. Good coverage, just an even better catch. Left tackle might have gotten away with one. Wow, that is awesome. Motion everybody out, go empty. Screen, and it's just immediately shut down. Who was that's taking on that first block? And there's a flag, but whoever takes on that first block just pretty much ended the play by himself. 12. Yeah, blows up his blocker. Screen never has a chance. Ball's deflected. Yeah. So they play hard for the most part. They're still a Dabo team. I don't think they're going to quit. I think they're still going to get up for the FSU game, obviously. But you see it. They're not as bad as their record says. I don't think it's quite as big of a difference as Florida State. I do think Florida State is probably the better team. But which Florida State will we get? Which Clemson will we get? After last week, I really do not know. In this game, Clemson offense that's been struggling puts up so many points on a really pretty solid Duke defense. FSU obviously explodes against Wake, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect with these teams for the most part, but I think I'm probably going to lean FSU. I think they're somehow more reliable. This is a team that lost to Stanford 2 weeks ago, but I don't know, man. This Clemson team is really rough, really rough. Up the sideline, can't quite haul it in. Good coverage, good pass rush. Yeah, let's go like one or two more. Man, these just in-breaking routes. For the most part, they're getting good coverage, and Mensa's just hitting the windows so perfectly. That's fine coverage. Perfectly fine coverage. Just lasers it. I mean, woo! You can't throw with much better anticipation than that right there. Ball is out. Win. Ball leaves his hand right there. Look at where that receiver is. He's going to catch it like here. That's unbelievable. This dude, he's so good. He's got the goods. I'm sure he'll be back because he's got a 2-year, like $9 million contract. But when he declares, this is probably a first-round guy if he keeps on this trajectory. He's really impressed this year. We'll go maybe into the first quarter unless they score again. Can't remember. Man. Yeah, these do not look like Clemson edge rushers. Like TJ Parker had some preseason hype. It's basically because he just dominated the Pitt offensive tackles last year. Didn't really do much outside of that game. But let's see. I think that's Peter Woods. Oh no, that's just strong linebacker play. There you go. Look at that. They heard me. Good fill. Good physicality. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Boom. Touchdown. I mean, he makes it look so easy, Mensa does. Truly, it's really fun to watch. This guy is good. Let's see here. They're really not even like getting burnt on these plays either. I mean, well, the other two touchdowns, but from like these in-breaking routes, it's not awful. Well, man, there's just so much voided space on the field at all times in this game. It feels like, is there no over-the-top guy? And once again, the anticipation. So that kind of turned into a Duke offense video as well. But yeah, Clemson offensively, I'm not particularly worried about them, especially if the defense can play how they did last week for FSU. Klubnik looks like a shell of himself. I probably would have redshirted if I were him and gone back for a fifth year, maybe somewhere else, but it is what it is. They have talent at receiver that is kind of underwhelmed this year. The run game came into the year expected to be their biggest question mark. It has continued to be a question mark. So we'll see. I mean, the FSU offense is clearly the best unit in this game, like by a wide margin. But what version of everything are we going to get? I could not tell you. I have no idea. So I think I'm going to go with FSU by maybe a touchdown or 3 points or something. It is still on the road, but man, this is it's going to be a fun one. I think, to be honest, it'll be interesting to have a Clemson FSU game, kind of with no stakes, a little bit, with stakes, but no like. You're both in the same spot right now for the most part. I mean, I don't know if Clemson's going to fire Dabo, but you're both in the same spot. And I don't know. It'll be exciting. It's just so different from the usual vibe of an FSU Clemson game. I'm excited for it, though. I'm looking forward to it. Ready to see if the team can get their mojo back and go on a little bit of a run. It's a new November, as Tommy and Earl would say. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And yeah, have a good one.
Hey, just before the video ends, I do want to give some love to Sleeper. Make sure you're using our code DFNS4 a 100% match up to $100 on the Sleeper app. We play the more or less game on Wednesday nights on our live preview. Make sure you're checking that out as well. Appreciate Sleeper, as always, for their support.